we look at alignment, something that we said, or that you mentioned, which was around terms like frustration. And what is frustration? So anytime that we feel frustration, I'm going to say always, but I hate to use the word always, but I think you have to examine the fact that it's likely, I'll use the word likely, that somebody isn't living into your values, or you're not living into somebody else's values. So in other words, if you're feeling frustrated, it's because somebody that you're asking them of something. You're asking them to agree with something. You're asking them to do something. They're pushing back. They're being a certain way. They're acting a certain way that is really frustrating. And that is almost always a flag to say they're not living to your values. So you're frustrated by that. That's where frustration kind of lives. The other side of that, if somebody looks at you and goes, "You're so frustrating. You frustrate the crap out of me," it's because you're not living into their values. And when you start to understand that, if anybody ever says to you, "Dude, you are so frustrating right now," or "Dudette," I'll put the female connotation on that. Anyways, the point is that you're not living into their values. It's just having the understanding or the awareness to say, okay, what am I doing? Am I willing to re-examine my values that I'm living right now and align with their values? I like that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And not only that, I think when we understand the ability to align without agreeing, and we co-regulate with the other person, then we can respect their values.
Mm-hmm.
And then respecting the values actually decreases the level of frustration, because then you can start to see the world through somebody else's eyes. And when we do that and we seek first to understand, then to be understood, we've elevated the conversation. We've elevated the alignment. Think about relationship, marriage, partnership. When we seek first to understand what the other person's going through, and we don't fight to be right. We've talked about this before on our podcast, is that you can be a right fighter, or you can fight for what's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is really where this co-regulation and understanding about alignment comes from. And we talk about partnership. Partnership is not about agreeing. It's not about 50-50. It's about me being 100 and you being 100, and then us working towards our common goal and our common outcome. And I think that's why I think Think Tank in March is going to be so much fun, whether it's spouses or partners or people that just want to align. Like, I think that's what we get to dig into and really spend some time having that conversation.